no compromise on elements of radicalism, extremism and violence. Implement phishing simulation to raise awareness of cybersecurity and scams. Good evening and salam Malaysia Madani. You are watching Malaysia Tonight. I'm Brenda Lepol. The Education Ministry is currently awaiting the findings of an investigation into allegation of extremism during Palestinian Solidarity Week, a program held at schools to express support for the Palestinian cause. Minister Fadlina Siddiq said they ordered a comprehensive investigation be carried out on the school and then a report be made on adherence to the set guidelines.
Kita tidak kompromi unsur-unsur radikalisme, ekstremisme, keganasan dan replika senjata tidak dibenarkan sama sekali berada dalam kawasan sekolah. Jadi kita minta semua pihak khususnya yang di bawah institusi pendidikan untuk memberikan perhatian penuh kepada garis panduan yang telah pun kita keluarkan.
Fadlina, who is also the demontable Member of Parliament, was present to inaugurate the launch of the Taman Angkat Amanita Taman Pekaka today. She said this when asked to comment on the viral case, which led to objections from a few parents who had asked that the program not be continued because it was deemed inappropriate. Several videos had gained widespread attention on social media where teachers and students bearing fake or toy rifles displayed Palestinian flags or had Palestine-themed scarves at a school event. The Education Ministry, however, confirmed that the video was organised outside of the Palestine Solidarity Week implementation period and did not follow the guidelines set by the ministry. Communications and Digital Minister Fahmi Fadil has suggested that phishing simulation be implemented as one of the proactive measures to raise public awareness in relation to cybersecurity and scam threats. Elaborating further on the matter, Fahmi said this was important considering the high number of scam and online fraud cases which are serious problems in the country, especially in the 17 to 40 age group, which made up most of the victims.
Mungkin akan saya bincang dengan beberapa pihak dalam GBS, Gabungan Anti-Scam, untuk kita laksanakan seawal mungkin. Ini akan membantu untuk tingkatkan kesedaran. Isunya ialah bila kita bercakap tentang satu bentuk scam, mungkin minggu depan ataupun petang ini, kalau sekarang kita sebut mungkin petang ini telah direncana scam yang baru. Jadi ini antara kekangan kerana mereka terlalu kreatif. Ya, penjenayah-penjenayah yang sangat kreatif. Jadi kita sedang teliti dari beberapa aspek. Saya berpandangan untuk bergantung harap kepada jelajah saja belum mencukupi, ya, dan boleh dirancangkan dengan beberapa cara yang lain.
Fahmi said this to reporters after attending the Sabah State Level 2023 National Anti-Scam Tour at University Malaysia Sabah, UMS, today. The Sabah State Government is committed to fighting cyber crime together with the federal government and related agencies, especially financial crime and scams that have risen drastically in the state. Chief Minister Datuk Seri Haji Noor said the total of cybercrime in Sabah rose in the past 3 years based on statistics from the Sabah Police Headquarters Commercial Crimes Investigation Department. He said from 2020 to September 2023, 4,687 cases were reported, including phone scams, love scams, non-existent loans, investments and online purchases, causing more than 100 million ringgit in losses from 2020 to September 2023. The Chief Minister noted that cybercrimes in Sabah caused losses of 24,885,763 ringgit and 50 cent in 2020, 25,427,844 ringgit 42 cent in 2021, and 21,749,610 ringgit 61 cent in 2022, while losses of 28,023,906 ringgit were recorded from January to September this year. He said this number is worrying and urged Sabahans, especially internet users, to come forward and report scams and online fraud that they suffered. He added that lodging reports are important to help the authorities analyse criminal trends, including scammers, and to set up adequate preventive measures to protect the public from becoming victims. The Sarawak government's proposal for the construction of a cross-Borneo railway service is currently in the negotiation phase. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Sri Fadilah Yusof said Deputy Transport Minister Datuk Hasbi Habibullah is outlining plans that involve multiple countries and regions in Borneo, including Indonesia, Brunei, Sarawak and Sabah. Elaborating further on the matter, the Deputy Prime Minister, however, said there is no specific timeline set for the implementation of the project.
Sebab ya YB Hasbi selaku Timbalan Menteri daripada GPS di Persekutuan sedang akan diberi amanah ialah untuk memperincikan perkaranya, bukan saja Indonesia, di Kalimantan, melibatkan Brunei dan juga melibatkan Sabah.
Met by reporters in Bintulu, he said the proposal for the construction was submitted by the Sarawak government to the Ministry of Transport during a meeting held in May. Meanwhile, in August, Transport Minister Anthony Look confirmed the federal government's plans to enhance the country's rail network, including a rail link to Indonesia's Kalimantan province. Compound fines will be issued to employers nationwide for failing to comply with the Minimum Wages Order 2022. Deputy Human Resources Minister Datuk Mustafa Sakmud said his ministry will not compromise any further against employers who did not comply with the minimum wage of 1,500 ringgit.
Majikan dalam mematuhi gaji minima 2022 ini, kegagalan pematuhan perintah tersebut merupakan suatu kesalahan di bawah Seksyen 43 Akta Majlis Perundingan Gaji Negara 2011, Akta 732 dan apabila disabitkan boleh didenda tidak melebihi RM10,000 bagi setiap pekerja.
He said this when met after officiating a labour convention in Keningau. The Minimum Wages Order 2022 was in force from the 1st of May 2022 for employers who hire 5 or more workers. However, it was postponed to the 1st of July for those with fewer than 5 workers. Up in our business segment, 5 financial institutions pledge funding to propel halal industry's growth. Stay with us. The Perak State Government plans to increase the number of hospital beds and bring in more international flights to boost medical tourism for Visit Perak Year 2024. Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Sarani Muhammad said more hospitals are expected to be open, namely the Social Security Organisation, SOCSO, Neuro Robotics Rehabilitation and Cybernetics Centre, Sri Botani Hospital and Sunway Medical Centre. He said health tourism is one of the important sectors to attract more people to visit the state. By having some improvements or new products, he added, will directly attract more patients outside Ipoh to come to the city to get treatment.
Jadi insyaAllah kita menjangkakan akan ada lagi pertambahan sekurang-kurangnya 3 hospital swasta yang akan siap dibina dan beroperasi pada masa terdekat. Di antaranya termasuklah Pusat Perubatan Sunway di Tambun, Kuil Medical Center di Jalan Sultan Nazrin Shah yang sedang dalam pembinaan, manakala Hospital Sri Botani baru saja memulakan operasinya pada bulan Mac lalu.
Datuk Sri Sarani said currently Pulau Pinang attracted more Indonesians seeking treatment as they had more hospital beds, specialists and flight availability. He said this at a press conference after launching the KPJ Ipoh Stroke Centre at the KPJ Ipoh Specialist Hospital in Ipoh today. Also present was KPJ Healthcare Berhad President and Managing Director Chin Kiat Chuan. A considerable number of Malaysians are still adopting a short-term mindset when it comes to financial management. According to Bank Negara Malaysia BNM Governor Dato' Abdul Rashid Ghaffar, many Malaysians have a lackadaisical attitude in managing their financial risks, including when facing unforeseen situations. Commenting further on the matter, the BNM governor said nearly half of Malaysians have difficulties in setting aside 1,000 ringgit for the purpose of emergencies, and 1 in 3 Malaysians are not interested to learn about insurance and takaful. Dato' Abdul Rashid said it is worrying that Malaysians' financial knowledge is not growing in line with their financial management attitude and behaviour. According to Credit Counselling and Debt Management Agency (AKBK) data, many Malaysians have to go into debt when in need of money during emergencies. Meanwhile, 1 in 3 Malaysians is burdened with debt, although most of them have a reasonable level of income, he said. Therefore, the BNM governor said everyone must have knowledge about various financial products and their suitability, including how to manage debt, assess risks and returns of investments, and take steps to safeguard against becoming a victim of financial fraud and scams. Malaysia would be able to generate an additional 36% gross domestic product or GDP, equivalent to $200 billion gains if women's participation in the country's labour force were equal to men's. 30% Club Malaysia Chair Dato' Ami Morris therefore said it is crucial for Malaysia to continue to unleash the potential of women in the economy. Elaborating further on the matter, Dato' Ami said one of the Madani economy's 7 goals is increasing women's economic participation to 60%, and that is what the club is aiming to achieve. According to the Department of Statistics Malaysia, the country's female labour participation rate stood at 55.8% in 2022, compared with 81.9% for men. Nevertheless, Dato' Ami pointed out that despite a higher percentage of women entering science, technology, engineering and mathematics (STEM) courses at the education level, their participation in senior management, C-suite or executive level manager and boardroom is still lower. She noted that this thins out a global average of 25 to 35%. Dato' Ami added that 53% of female students enrolled in STEM university programs, while 52% of women graduates entered the workforce. The development of measures to assess policies and initiatives achievement is crucial for the country in realizing the Malaysia Madani goals, according to World Bank Country Manager for Malaysia, Yasuhiko Matsuda. The Madani Economy Framework can make other plans introduced by the government more meaningful, but opine that Malaysia is still lacking in public scrutiny of what has been done in the past, mainly with the public funds. In regards to that, Matsuda said there is a lot of work to be done to make sure the implementation happens, and the only way to do that is by monitoring the implementation itself and evaluating its impact. Under the Madani economy, Malaysia aims to elevate its economy to be among the world's top 30 largest in less than 10 years from number 37 in 2022. Besides positioning Malaysia as a top 30 major economy, the Madani Economy Framework also sets 6 other medium-term benchmarks to be achieved within 10 years. Matsuda noted that a lot of the Madani elements are already in place at a much concrete level. So if the government can fully implement the plan or a chunk of the initiative, you will see a lot of progress along the way. An encouraging economic growth anticipated in 2024 will stimulate higher income prospects for the workforce. Existing initiatives will be intensified by adopting advanced technology in production activities, improving productivity through retraining and upskilling, as well as reducing reliance on low-skilled foreign workers. Hence, the share of employee compensation, or CE, of GDP is projected to improve to 33.1% in 2024. Nevertheless, the share is still relatively low compared to other advanced economies and the CE target of 40% in 2025. This transformation from a low-wage labour market structure to a decent wage standard is vital in achieving a more equitable distribution of economic growth between employees and capital owners. The primary income account is projected to record a wider deficit of 58.5 billion ringgit owing to higher payments by foreign investors in tandem with the ongoing investment activities. Additionally, the continuous adoption of advanced technology, including artificial intelligence, cloud computing, digitalization and automation, is expected to increase the compensation for foreign professionals, thus contributing to the higher deficit. As aspired by the Ekonomi Madani framework, efforts will be directed towards asserting Malaysia's position as the leader in driving innovations for the global Islamic economy. At present, the global halal market is expected to reach a staggering $7.7 trillion by 2025. And this creates a golden opportunity for Malaysia to secure a more substantial share of the global halal market by enhancing the competitiveness of domestic halal industry. The strategy encompasses a comprehensive array of halalan toyiban activities and Islamic financial innovation pursuant to the Maqasid Sharia principles. Thus, emphasis will be placed on streamlining the halal certification process, providing financial support for mechanisms to boost innovation and productivity, and intensifying marketing strategies to penetrate both local and international markets. As Malaysia enjoys a mature Islamic finance ecosystem with dynamic players, innovative Sharia-compliant products, and comprehensive enabling environment, efforts will be geared towards utilizing the value-based finance to support the halal industry. This strategic cluster will not only bolster Malaysia's global leadership in Islamic finance and halal industries, but also reinforce its prominence of the halal ecosystem. 5 prominent Islamic financial institutions have pledged a substantial total funding of 2.67 billion ringgit to accelerate the advancement of Malaysia's halal industry. Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi said this when met at the World Halal Business Conference WHBC 2023 in London on Friday. The 5 financial institutions include the SME Development Bank Malaysia Berhad with a substantial pledge of 1 billion ringgit, while Standard Chartered Sadiq Islamic Bank, Bank Islam Malaysia Berhad, Alliance Islamic Bank Berhad and Hong Leong Islamic Bank pledged a combine of 1.67 billion ringgit.
Soal bagaimana pasaran yang diterobos itu dapat menjalin memorandum of agreement dengan pengedar di peringkat antarabangsa, dan itu harus dijadikan sebagai satu sandaran untuk memperolehi pembiayaan, ya, bukan hanya fixed deposit ataupun lender properties untuk dijadikan cagaran.
Datuk Seri Ahmad Zahid said the government had spent about 4 billion ringgit to promote and market local halal products. However, most of the products could only be marketed domestically and had yet to penetrate the global market. He also emphasized that the country needs to implement a seamless and efficient halal certification process. Malaysia takes pride in its leading role among Asian economies in the pursuit of green growth and climate resilience. Remarkable advancements were made in the adoption of sustainable practices across various sectors, encompassing substantial investments in renewable energy, the implementation of energy-efficient measures, extensive reforestation initiatives, and the promotion of eco-friendly urban planning. The government is also committed in advancing the commercialization of green hydrogen in view of its potential and competitive clean energy solution for Malaysia, which aligns with the net zero aspirations. In line with a long-term commitment to environmental sustainability, the Budget 2024 will continue to encourage businesses to embrace the environmental, social and governance of ESG principles, aiming at increasing the competitiveness to meet the global standards. These initiatives entail the establishment of pertinent policies and regulatory frameworks, as well as substantial funding directed towards promoting green growth and low-carbon transition. This concerted green efforts underscore the determination to champion sustainability agenda, positioning Malaysia as the frontier among the developing countries. Battles rage in Gaza after Israel escalates bombing. That and more coming up in our foreign segment. A total of 50 tons of humanitarian aid for the Palestinians in Gaza with a value of 7 million ringgit are ready to be sent through Egypt. In a statement, the Foreign Affairs Ministry said the items were collected through the Ops Ihsan campaign by more than 40 local non-governmental organizations on 21st and 22nd October. The statement said the first shipment of the aid is scheduled to be sent to Al Arish International Airport via a special chartered cargo flight on 3rd November, funded by the Malaysian government. The statement added that the next shipment will be sent by sea and will be deployed as soon as the latest details are received from the field by the Ops Ihsan team to the city of Islamia in Egypt. Prime Minister Dr. Sri Anwar Ibrahim previously said the total amount collected through the Palestine Humanitarian Trust account, AAKRP, supervised by the ministry, was 81 million ringgit. According to the ministry, the receipt of this donation into the account is in the process, where as of today, 28th of October, 23 million ringgit has been deposited. The ministry said the amount included funds received from corporate companies that promised to contribute during the AAKRP fund donation presentation ceremony on 19 October in Sri Perdana. Battles rage in Gaza today as Israel's army said it expanded ground operations after intensifying its bombardment of the Palestinian territory 3 weeks into the war with the territory's Hamas rulers. The United Nations warned of a looming unprecedented avalanche of human suffering inside the Gaza strips after weeks of relentless Israeli bombing, while the General Assembly called for an immediate humanitarian truce. The Health Ministry in the Gaza Strip said that Israeli strikes had now killed 7,326 people, more than 3,000 of them children. With tens of thousands of troops massed along the Gaza border ahead of an expected full-blown invasion, Israeli forces had also made limited ground incursions on Wednesday and Thursday nights. Hamas said all internet connections and communications across Gaza had been cut and accused Israel of taking the measure to perpetrate massacres with bloody retaliatory strikes from the air, land and sea. Human Rights Watch also warned the near-total telecommunications blackout in Gaza risks providing cover for mass atrocities. The UN Agency for Palestinian Refugee, UNRWA, meanwhile said between the bombardments and the fuel shortages, 12 of Gaza's 35 hospitals have been forced to close, adding that has had to significantly reduce its operations. A fire at a mine in Kazakhstan's owned by steel giant ArcelorMittal killed 21 people today, with over 20 miners still underground and the Central Asian nation working to take over the company's local branch. ArcelorMittal has a history of deadly disasters in Kazakhstan and is regularly accused of failing to respect safety and environmental regulations. The fire was Kazakhstan's worst mining accident since 2006, when 41 miners died at an ArcelorMittal site, and came 2 months after 5 miners were killed in a blast this summer. The company said 252 miners have been brought out from underground and that rescue operations were ongoing. President Kassym-Jomart Tokayev, who has previously denounced the systemic character of accidents at ArcelorMittal, had ordered his government to end investment cooperation with ArcelorMittal. He said an investigative commission would be set up to determine the cause. ArcelorMittal operates around a dozen mines in the highly polluted industrial region of the vast, resource-rich country, formerly part of the Soviet Union. Extraction of iron and coal, as well as oil, gas and uranium, has made its economy the largest in Central Asia, though accidents are common because of aging infrastructure and equipment and lacks safety standards. And next up in sports, fate of Road to Gold athletes to be known this Tuesday. The fate of the athletes listed in the Road to Gold RTG program will be revealed in an evaluation committee meeting this Tuesday. Youth and Sports Minister Hannah Yeoh, who is also co-chairman of the RTG committee, confirmed that the meeting, which will decide whether the program will retain the selected athletes, drop or add more to the list, will take place at the National Sports Council, Bukit Jalil. Commenting further the matter, Hannah stressed that the main purpose of RTG is to add value to the existing services enjoyed by athletes who have the potential to win the country's first gold at the 2024 Olympic Games in Paris. Among the athletes already listed in the RTG program are national track cycling champion Dato' Muhammad Azizul Hasni Awang, 2022 World Men's Doubles champion Erenciaso Wuyik, and diving queen Dato' Pandalela Rinong. In the meantime, she said the RTG meeting on Tuesday will also touch on the direction of the country's squash players as the sport makes its debut at the 2028 Los Angeles Olympic Games. Earlier, KBS had set two main criteria for RTG athletes with the potential to contribute to the country's first goal at the Olympic Games as medal winners of the 2020 Tokyo Olympic Games, and those listed in the top 10 in the world. The national junior squad lost 2-3 to New Zealand in the opening match of the 2023 Sultan of Johor Cup SOJC International Hockey Tournament at the Taman Daya Hockey Stadium last night. New Zealand drew first blood in the 6th minute of the first quarter through a penalty corner conversion by Eldred Luke. However, the Young Tigers were quick to hit back to draw level through a penalty stroke by skipper Muhammad Faris Harizan 1 minute later. The Black Sticks then stunned the homesters again by regaining the lead through a penalty corner by Coslet Scott in the 15th minute. In the second quarter, the squad handled by Muhammad Amin Rahim began to pile pressure on New Zealand, which resulted in Muhammad Faris scoring through a penalty corner hit in the 24th minute to put Malaysia level again. However, Fort Aaron's squad had the last say when they scored the winner in the third quarter through Hickson James's field goal in the 33rd minute. The 11th edition of the Under-21 tournament, which runs from today until 4th of November, features 8 countries: Malaysia, Great Britain, India, Germany, Australia, South Africa, New Zealand and Pakistan. And on to local football. Kedah Darul Aman FC, KDAFC majority shareholder Tan Sri Dr. Muhammad Daud Bakar has confirmed that the team is facing financial woes resulting in the players, coaches and team officials not being paid their salaries since August. He said they have settled part of the August salary for all players and team officials, and plans are afoot to pay off the remaining month's salary, while the wages for September will be settled next month. When asked about the actual cause of KDAFC's financial woes, Tan Sri Muhammad Daud denied certain perceptions and claims that it was due to leakages or sponsors pulling out. He said that to overcome KDAFC's cash flow problem, they are working on getting funds and attracting sponsorships to strengthen their financial resources, in addition to offering shares in the team to interested parties. That concludes this evening's Malaysia Tonight. A reminder of our top story: no compromise on elements of radicalism, extremism and violence. You tune in to World Today, coming up tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. on TV2. Till then, I'm Brendan Lepal. From the river to the sea, Palestine will be free. Have a great weekend.